everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me yet again voicing my opinions into the void that is the internet. Today's video I'm going to be talking about Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. We all have heard of it, we're all anticipating its release for this summer, and it finally came out and I read it and I'm here to talk to you about it today. Sit back, relax, grab a fruity cocktail and let's get started. So I read Daisy Jones and the Six, and I read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, like the rest of the world. And I do really like her books. I find them really entertaining. I loved Evelyn Hugo. I enjoyed Daisy Jones, but it wasn't my favorite. But this one has to be my least favorite of the three, sadly. It didn't really vibe for me. I gave it about a 4-star rating, which is still really good, because like I did enjoy most of it, but there were some things about it that just really didn't work for me, sadly, because I do love her writing in her books. I think she's a great storyteller, but this one it felt a little off to me. So I'm gonna talk about the plot kind of and what happens, and then I'll talk about my opinions on it. So, in this one, we are in Malibu in 1983. It is the end of the summer party everyone is so excited for, and we follow the 4 famous siblings. The oldest is hosting this party, right? So Nina is the oldest sister. She's 25, she's super rich and famous and beautiful. She has this beautiful mansion that she has these parties at the end of every summer. So we're following her, and then her brothers Jay and Hud, and then her youngest sister Kit. They're all very famous because they are the children of Mick Riva, who very much reminds me of like Elvis. Like, he's just like a rock star and kind of an asshole, to be quite frank with you. Like, he is a horrible father. He got really famous and then of course like had these 4 children and kind of left them and left their mother. So that's the situation. We're in 1983 and we are counting down the hours until this party. But Nina is going through a hard time. She really is not looking forward to it. She's going through some marital problems, and so she is struggling with that in present day of 1983. But we're also time hopping back to decades before, where we see Mick Riva. I like Riva. I think that's how it's pronounced. Where we follow Mick and June, who is the children's mother, and we see their love story. We literally see them fall in love as like teenagers and get married and have, you know, these children, and see him rise to fame. Thus begins the downfall of the marriage and the family. And present day 1983, we see these 4 siblings try and just like work it out and figure out how they feel about their father and just come together and celebrate at this party. So that's the situation. I loved, this happens with like every book that I read that time hops. I always prefer like the older one, like looking in the past. I find that super interesting and don't really care about the present story that's being told. And that's very much what happened in this novel as well. I just didn't care about the day of the party and the party itself. I loved reading about June and Mick. I thought it was like a great love story. It was really tragic and ends horribly, but I was so interested in that. I was interested in seeing the kids' dynamics, like as their children and growing up and having them as parents. I thought that was so much more interesting than them like gearing up for this party. I thought they were like 2 puzzle pieces that just like didn't fit together for me, and especially when the party actually starts and like we are introduced to so many characters at the party and so many like famous people that are really shitty, and just, I don't know, I felt like it was so distracting from what was actually happening. Like with the family turmoil, I didn't want to read about like people puking in bushes and like hanging from chandeliers, you know? So to me, it just felt really disconnected and disjointed. I thought it would have been like a lot more powerful just like as a family dynamic kind of story. Like, I wish the final result that was the party was like something else. but that's just me. I mean, if you're looking for like debauchery, then you'll love the party scenes, but it wasn't really for me. And then the ending was kind of anticlimactic. It just wasn't what I thought it was gonna be, and kind of a letdown, which is what I've felt with a lot of books lately, like especially really hyped up books. I'm all for it, and then the ending hits, and I'm like, that was dumb. Like if I were to write a book, that's not how I would have ended it, but I still think it was a fun read. It was really quick. It definitely like transported me out of my life today, so that was fun. I mean, that's why we read, right? But I just, I can't really put my finger on it. I just wanted something a little bit more, just some ending, something happening at the end, but it just all kind of fell apart for me. Like I was super into it, and then like the party actually starts, and then I just really zoned out and didn't care. Follow all the 4 siblings and kind of a look at their individual lives, which I thought was cool, and kind of how their past and their childhood was affecting their current life. Loved that. We love childhood trauma, but the dang party. That stupid party just ruined it for me, which is like the point of the whole book as well. So it was kind of a big moment that I got let down at. I will be keeping this book. I think it was still like a good book. Like I don't think that she can write a bad one. And I think I still would recommend it. I don't know, when I compare it to like Evelyn Hugo, like there's no comparison. Like Evelyn Hugo just has my entire heart. And I think Mick Riva is actually an ex-husband of Evelyn Hugo, so that's kind of fun. But I haven't read Evelyn Hugo in so long that I did not catch that until I like read somewhere that was the case. Still think you should read it if you're interested. If you have read it, I would love to know what you thought about it, because so far everyone loves it. Like it has really good ratings on Goodreads. But for me, it was just, maybe it was hyped up too much. I don't know where its flaw was for me. Like I said, I can't put my finger on it, but that's all I have for you today. It's a short little video for you. Usually I ramble on and on, but I still think it was good. Like, don't get me wrong, okay? Don't come for me. If you absolutely loved it, I understand why. Just not my cup of tea. But again, if you've read it, I would love to know your thoughts below. And if you agree with me, if you disagree, if you think I'm an idiot, I would love to hear all about it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!